Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to actually advertise on Instagram properly. Okay, a lot of guys have contacted me and say I have trouble advertising on Instagram, all that sort of good stuff. I've done a lot of it. I'm going to tell you simply what works, okay? We're going to go and jump in and tell you what works. But first I wanted to let you know that when you are advertising, you should do Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising separate. Never combine the two because there's a few reasons. Basically, they are different ads. So on this one here, there's this is a Facebook advertisement that they're advertising on Instagram as well, and you see these little arrows. That's how I know. And this one is a nice clean one with no arrows. Now that doesn't really matter, but the thing is, your Instagram audience is different to a Facebook audience. They're different. They react different to adverts. They are simply just different. Like they're the same people usually, but they just react different to adverts. So I always do my Instagram advertising separate, and what I try to do is I actually try to emulate a shout out, which I'll try and show you. So I'll do like, hey, check out our page, 10% off only, and all this sort of stuff. And I will make it so it looks like kind of a shout out per se. Like they don't always look like that. That's why I try to make it look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do my Instagram targeting. It is very basic. I go very broad with my Instagram targeting, but let's jump straight into it. Like this is how you should be doing Instagram adverts. This is honestly how you should be doing it, and it's worked very, very well for me. I want you to, whatever your niche is in, go into Google and do top Instagram whatever, fitness influencers or hunting influencers or whatever you're doing, right? Now I'm in the hunting niche, so I'm going to use that for my examples. What you want to do is you want to find influencers in your market, okay, on Instagram. Very, very easy to do. I'm going to use Eva here. I've used her before. I'm going to copy her name, okay? And this is what you do. I'm going to start a new campaign, right? Create an advert, start again, conversions, and I'm going to do IG, Instagram only hunting, right? That's just what we're going to do there. And I either do add to basket or purchase. I don't do view count on Instagram stuff. Now, what I do is I'll just put maybe hunters only. What I do is I'm going to do United States. Now this is what I do, and this is what I guarantee you no one else is really doing this on Instagram. I put the influencer in here. Okay, see if can we get it to show up. Probably need to put a space. Okay, I've got Eva Shockley in there, and we can reach take off expanded interest, and I can reach 3.7 million people. But then down here I'm going to narrow my audience and go hunting. Right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to edit placements, and I'm going to get rid of Facebook, and I'm going to do audience network, and I'm going to do mobile only. Now we have, we're going to get rid of Facebook, sorry, get rid of audience sites. Now we have 3.1 million people who like my influencer Eva on Instagram and like hunting. And we can even go, like, I can narrow it down even more if I want to. And maybe we could do fishing as well, because I'm sure people. So now they like fishing, hunting, and Eva, because she's kind of, she's more of a hunter, but I suppose she's in that kind of fishing genre as well. So that's what I do to target on Instagram. I get influencers, and I narrow it down by people who like the influencer hunting. The interest, and maybe I'll narrow it down some more. Like that's really what I do, and it's so simple. And if you get a tiny audience, like if you get something that's maybe 50, 60,000, just click expand interest when it may increase conversions at a lower cost per conversion. That's the only time I ever do it, is when I'm doing Instagram and I get small audiences. So let's try another one, see what we can get here. And guys, there's influencers in all niches, okay? So I don't want to hear like, oh, but I can't find an influencer in my niche. You know, guys, there's influencers in every niche. Let's try her father, I think it is. We'll try Jim Shockley. Oh, Jim Right, sorry guys, I just had to do that again because it messed up. Hunting. Now I have people that like Jim Shockley and hunting, right? And I can narrow it down further by people who like fishing as well if I wanted to. You know, people that like maybe, I don't know, boating. Like, I'm just trying to see if I can get the audience down. Yes, that would take it right down. So this is basically how I find my interest for Instagram. I go very broad with this. I don't really stack. This isn't broad here, but you know, I could go just hunting and gym, and that would be quite broad. So that's what I do, guys, to find to advertise on Instagram. You've got to realize that your Facebook and Instagram adverts are really just completely different. Because like if we were just doing Facebook, for instance, let's do Facebook. As far as I know, these guys are not very popular on Facebook. Actually, here's more on Facebook. But I do remember the other day there was someone on that I was doing, and what they did is they had their Instagram. There was way more Instagram than there was Facebook. Facebook was only about 30,000. They didn't have a very big Facebook page, but then on Instagram they had a huge Facebook page. Let's see if we can try and get someone up here that's kind of like that, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's try someone that's quite kind of popular. We'll try another guy that I know and see if it works. Because I want to kind of just give you an example, like just because everyone advertises on Facebook, you don't need to just advertise on Facebook. Like you can advertise on Instagram too, and it works very well. So Cameron Hayes, and we're going to go narrow audience down to hunting. And then we're going to go down to placement mobile only. We'll try just Facebook and see what happens. See? Now on Facebook he only has 130,000 people, right? But on Instagram we have 2.8 million. So what people do is they will have both of these checked, or they'll go automatic placement, right? Recommended. And so Facebook is most of his audience is actually on Instagram. So you're going to create an advert and you're going to be like, oh, yep, this is going to go on Facebook. But actually, Facebook's going to put this in front of everyone. They're going to actually end up optimizing it for Instagram because that's where most of his audience is, on Instagram. So you see why it's important to do separate adverts. It is quite important. And a lot of people are like, why are my adverts getting served to Instagram? Because basically, some influencers are more active and popular on Instagram than they are on Facebook. That's exactly what it is. So that's really how you do the targeting for that. Just go to Google, find top influencers in your industry, go down to your advertising, narrow it down, right? You know, you can put more in here, hunting, camping, to build it out more if you want, but I don't. I like to just do one or two, and I'm going to hit these guys with the advert. Now next, we're going to go and do the actual advert itself. I always do single image or a video. I'm going to just upload an image here, for example. Wrong button again. Browse library, and I'll just use this, for example. And you want to connect an account, right? So you want to connect an Instagram account. Don't do it for a Facebook page. And you just want to have a little message down here. So what I do is visit. I can't remember if you can do tags or not. My outdoor. I don't think you can do. Sometimes I think you can't. Yeah, it should be up. So if you do that and you thing your page, your Facebook, Instagram page in there. Sorry. I can't remember if it does, but it should take you through to get a discount, 70% discount on these awesome hunting shirts, right? only 73 left in stock. Get yours now. Right? This is just something I quickly whipped up. And it's nice and clean, nice and different, completely different layout to Facebook. And that's why, exactly why, I do my adverts separately to Facebook. Or like if we're actually doing a wine product, we could go, like let's just say your page is at Wine Life, visit at Wine Life. Actually, that would actually bring up the page. So yeah, so I'll do at Wine Life. That would be my, for instance, that would be my Instagram profile. To get your discounted rubber cork now. Sale ends today. Free shipping. Right? Oh gosh, I'm so bad at this typing stuff, man. Alright, so now you've got a nice Instagram advert, and we are now targeting people that like this guy here, Cameron Hayes, who is a hunter in the hunting niche. So that's really it. Like, it's so easy to advertise to Instagram people, but just make sure you're doing your targeting right. I haven't dived really deep into Instagram advertising yet. So that's why I kind of, with my interest, I don't do much stacking. This is what I do, and it's worked very well for me. So this is how you set up the Instagram feed. It's very basic, very easy, nice and clean. And then when you go back to your ad set, this is where you do your interest as well, and just do purchase or add to cart. Probably add to cart maybe first. Actually, I have better luck just adding purchases. I get quite a lot of purchases doing this this kind of targeting. So yeah, just do this type of targeting. I don't do much crazy niche targeting research for Instagram, because this is all I've done, and this has worked very, very well for me. And once again, if I get a really tiny audience, I go expand interest if it may increase conversions at a lower cost, because sometimes your influencer won't have a huge following. So you might have a smaller audience, maybe 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. You can do expand interest, and that works quite well on small audiences. And then you want to chuck this on mobile just in case. Even though it's on Instagram, it will put it in front of mobile anyway. But just put it on there. And that's it. Like, that's really how you can advertise on Instagram through Facebook. Like, it's really that easy. And just make sure that you're not make sure you do edit placements and you advertise Instagram and Facebook separately. This is really crucial. This is really critical, because like I said, if there is more people, like if you're trying to advertise on Facebook, right, but the Instagram audience, your target interest has more people on Instagram, they're bigger on Instagram, Facebook is going to optimize and advertise to Instagram pretty much only, and then you're not going to get any Facebook traffic at all. Right, so please make sure you keep it separate, and it'll make your adverts run better. You'll get better engagement. You'll get heaps of it's just better, right? And you can also create slideshows with Instagram, and what happens is people scroll with their thumb left to right, and you can put different images in there. So very easy, very basic stuff. This one, there's no real crazy technique to this. Just follow what I did in this video, and away you go.